Good news, there's once again a V6 engine option for the Ford Fusion after a few years during which Dearborn's mainstream family sedan offered only 4 bangers. Better news, it's a twin-turbocharged 2.7-liter EcoBoost V-6 making 325 horsepower, an engine we've seen before in the F-150 pickup and the Edge crossover. In the Fusion, it appears only under the hood of the Sport, which joins the luxury-focused Platinum as new models in the revised Ford 2017 lineup. Dedicated Ford watchers will recognize this as the return of the Fusion Sport introduced for 2010 and dropped when the car was redesigned for 2013. The midterm refresh for 17 brings some amendments, not necessarily improvements to our eye, to the exterior styling, an upgraded interior, and, most appealing, the Sport model tested here. Muscle machine. The original 2010 Fusion Sport used a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 making 263 horsepower, roughly equal to what you'd find in the V6s then available in the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord, 2 cars Ford seems to chase perpetually for sales honors in the category. The V6s account for only incremental numbers for all of these makers, but every buyer counts when you're vying for the sales crown. The EcoBoost gives Ford clear bragging rights as the first modern family sedan to bust through the 300 HP barrier, and it outmuscles a lot of would-be sports sedans in the near-luxury arena, too. There's a lot of grunt on tap, too much, really, for a front-wheel drive vehicle. See our review of the front-drive Lincoln MKX with this engine. Hence the Fusion Sport standard all-wheel drive system, which operates in front drive mode until it detects any wheel slip. And it's pretty easy to induce that condition with 380 lb-ft of torque. If you're willing to switch away from the digital tachometer display, it's too small anyway. In the instrument panel, there's a live graphical depiction available to show the torque being shifted to the rear axle in real time. Entertaining, if you're not too busy going fast to eyeball it. Pro tip, check it out during launches on a dirt road. Outside, the Sport is denoted by a black mesh grille with a chrome surround, a subtly integrated decklit spoiler, and 4 exhaust tips. Inside, the Sport has charcoal gray decor with leather, suede, contrast stitching, matte finished metal, and faux carbon fiber accents. Plastics in the upper portion of the cabin are nicely finished, but the lower portions of the dashboard and the door panels look and feel cheaper. You're supposed to go for the Platinum model or the Lincoln MKZ if you seek plusher environs. And if an EPA city fuel economy rating of 17 mpg bothers you, go read about the hybrid model. Quick tricks. The Fusion Sport's real charm is all beneath those surfaces. The power translates to a dash to 60 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds and through the quarter mile in 13.7 at 101 miles per hour. This in a segment where 7.0 seconds to 60 miles per hour is considered pretty good, and cars that take nearly 9 seconds are deemed acceptable. The 278 HP V6 Honda Accord previously ruled for performance in this bunch, getting to 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds and through the quarter mile in 14.4 at 99. The soon-to-be defunct Chrysler 200 did a little better with its 295 HP naturally aspirated V6. While the turbocharged Ford's ample thrust erases worries about merging onto the freeway or passing that landscaper's dump truck on your favorite 2-lane, check those outstanding 30 to 50 and 50 to 70 mph times. There's other hardware at play to engage the Fusion Sport driver, most notably a computer-controlled adaptive damping system. Push the S button in the center of the new 417 dial-operated shifter to sharpen the Sport's reflexes. It tautens the adaptive damping system, increases steering effort, quickens throttle response, and amps up the artificially enhanced engine sounds. The S button also engages a more aggressive shift program from the 6-speed automatic transmission, a heavier-duty unit than in other Fusions, and gives you more control through the standard paddle shifters. It upshifts automatically at 6,000 RPM no matter what you do with the paddles, but it will hold gears through corners and rev-match downshifts under braking. None of this changed the measurable on-track performance, but it does make driving the car more entertaining. The dampers, especially, did a great job of supporting aggressive assaults on curving roads while maintaining a ride quality that wouldn't alarm your grandmother. Adaptive dampers are all but commonplace in pricier, near-luxury sedans and many crossover utility vehicles, but are overdue to trickle into the mass market. With the standard Goodyear all-season tires, size 235/40R19, on the sports-specific gray-painted aluminum wheels, lateral acceleration around our skid pad matched the Accord's 0.84G, which is good for this class but not particularly sporty. Stopping from 70 miles per hour took an acceptable 178 feet, the optional, $195. Summer-only tires chop the braking distance to just 155 feet and deliver 0.89 of lateral grip. The limits of sport. Ford's commitment here goes only so far, as evidenced by the absence of Rs or ST badging. Ford Performance's handling experts didn't have their way with the car. Steering feel is lackluster, and the brake pedal has a long travel and little feedback. And the car feels every bit as heavy as the 4,128 pounds measured on our scales. Ford needs to make haste with its lightweighting research, a field where General Motors is doing much better. All that mass leaves an overall impression that the Fusion Sport amounts to a smaller version of the Taurus show, a car whose days are numbered, and even the performance figures are similar. When driven aggressively, there are hints of torque steer before the AWD system activates and moments of hesitation where you can feel the car sorting out, just for a moment, which gear to choose and how much steering effort should adjust to conditions. All this keeps it from being a sharp-edged driver's car, although, on paper, it's a budget Audi S4. To deliver on that promise, besides putting the car on a diet, would require a less fuel economy-minded all-wheel drive system with more rearward bias of torque distribution and a lot more attention to the niceties of control, feel and precision. Our example came packed with Ford's full array of driving assists, including pre-collision warning with pedestrian detection, automated emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, a rear-view camera, blind spot warning, automated guidance into parallel or perpendicular parking spots, lane keeping assist, and automatic high-beam headlamps. Our car also had voice-activated navigation and an 8.0-inch center touchscreen with swipe and pinch to zoom capability, using Ford's latest Sync 3 system, which is far more user-friendly than before and compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All this inflated the bottom line from the $34,450 base price to more than $40,000, although it should be noted that we've seen dealers advertising 2017 Fusion Sports for less than $30,000. Leaving off some of the gizmos might even pare the weight down a bit. Like the Taurus show, the Fusion Sport can be driven gently without betraying the stormier character lurking beneath. And it can be a barrel of fun on the right gravel road, where it becomes a sort of big, comfy rally car, something Tanner Faust could drive when he's ready to move into assisted living. In daily use, the Ford Fusion Sport is a Q-ship that will blend unobtrusively into the flow of traffic until, suddenly, it doesn't.